Okay,
Rundown
and
of the day.
yeah,
Alright. Brain for like gel.
yeah, go ahead. Whenever.
Well, today we actually had a very successful filming day. We basically wrapped on our locations at midnight, which is pretty good. Sometimes we've had to shoot till 4 in the morning. We came back and did a couple of pickup shots here in the studio. A couple of small things. For the genre that we had, we truly, honestly tried to push the limit. We had a fantastic script that really just took things to new bounds. I'd have to say we only put the camera on a set of sticks maybe 6 times today. Everything was either a head rail shot or a dolly shot or a crane cam shot. We really incorporated lots of cinematography, had a lot of action. We kept things very big and just kept trying to raise the bar with what we did. But having such a great cast and crew, we were able to move very efficiently, only have a couple of takes. I'd say some of the downfalls, mainly, it's the heat, middle of July. Touching up makeup was a constant hindrance. We probably could have saved a few hours for that, but that's got to be there. You got to make pretty pictures. Doesn't do good to have a beautiful background with running makeup. And I'd say we had a huge location that we had several venues to use on for with it, so several different sites and appeals just from one location, but also it's very spread out. So anytime we moved, it was almost like having a semi-company move to go somewhere. You had to repack everything and go clear across the property to get to where we were. And other than that, it was just maintaining a large crew. But for the most part, I think everything went well. We had, bumps in the road, but that's the 48. We pushed through them and had a fantastic piece. So I think, all in all, a very successful day. Looking forward to getting the editing done and see where tomorrow takes us.
Okay, so from here till the time you turn it in, what's going to happen?
The goal right now is we're getting footage logged and transferred. I think the biggest challenge tonight is actually going to be my challenge. We got to get the film edited. Editing is one of my stronger keys, but over the past several years I've been straight just going to Mac with Final Cut. So I've got a lot of guys who are coming in to help do like post-production, color correction, and special effects and visualization and graphics, and they're more Premiere guys. Doesn't sound too big of a deal, but I'm not used to that workflow. I came in prepared to do Final Cut, but to accommodate for that, we're making that change. So tonight I've had 1 hour of sleep total in the past 2 days. So pushing forward with this is going to take some little determination, and it's going to take me not getting too upset that I'm going to kind of have to learn a system as I go. It's not something I like to do on a 48 running gun, but we're still making good time. The goal is to have the whole timeline locked tomorrow by 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock we want this film to go to color correction, sound design, special effects, music composition, and title and credit creations to go along with it. So we'll still have a solid 8 hours to get that done by 4 o'clock, so we can then recombine everything, mix it down, start dumping it at 5, have it out on the road by 6, and still have plenty of time to get there before 7. And the good thing is they'll give you till 7:30 in case there's traffic problems or something like that, so we don't ever try to risk it. So tomorrow is all the technicalities, but once I stay up tonight, hopefully won't have to be all night, but once we get it done, I think I'll finally get a little bit of rest. One of our good problems that we have right now is we have a lot of great footage. We have a lot of good actors, and I say one of the biggest problems is people want to own a role, even though, whether it's a big or small one, even if it's a short film, they still want to give their best. So it's hard to break someone of the training they've had to give a proper dramatic pause, or to feel the scene build, when sometimes you need the scene to be informative to get you from A to B so you can tell your story in a short amount of time, and trying to get people to sometimes say dialogue faster, not rush dialogue, but to make those subtle hints and those subtle accents and notes and the tonality in their voice move faster and quicker, So we're going to have to see how I can cut it to work within that, because it's hard to break people out of what they've been trained to do for years, because the 48 is such a different animal. So we got a lot of fun challenges ahead of us, but by no means are they setbacks.
Okay, so now the second part, and we can roll through this within 10 easy. But basically now this is going to be about you. I'm doing interviews of everybody. So this is about your career, generally things that have happened in your career, not this particular project. Okay.
So, first thing is, go ahead and say your name so I get the stamp.
My name is Chris Blanton, ChrisBlanton.
Okay. When was the first time that you remember where you first thought that you might want to be in the entertainment and film industry?
I'd say it took me to about 7th or 8th grade to do such a thing. As a child, for some odd reason, I was completely fascinated with all the soundtracks to the big blockbusters of the 80s. You know, the Supermans, the Star Wars, the Indiana Joneses, and then things were followed suit with Jurassic Park and these grandeurs. And you could literally listen to the music and hear Indiana Jones throw a punch, or you could hear the tonalities and the way the music changed, and you would know that Darth Vader was coming near, and it just completely fascinated me. So I learned to listen to the music so much till I could actually watch the movie in my head. And so I actually took a few months of piano lessons and got bored because they wanted me to play structure of music. But I started as a 10-year-old kid sort of writing my own music with the old beaten up piano we had in my house. I would try to score music for a scene. I would say it didn't take me too long until about junior high that I realized that even though I was learning how to write music and put together good pieces, that my music was actually missing something, and that was the punch that Indiana Jones threw. And so I figured if I wanted to write good music, I needed to start actually incorporating the film itself. And years later, I've still written a good bit of music, but definitely been more on the video side. If we were growing up as kids, if we ever had a chance to do a video presentation, we turned it, or just an oral presentation for class, we made a short film out of it. And that was just how we did. We would edit VCR to VCR. The tape would be almost bleached out by the time we'd get through with it. But it was a fascination that really grew. In high school, they had this new thing come out called Premiere. So I learned how to edit with that old school thing. I'd stay after school late and just taught myself, and really decided that, you know, it would be a great fun career to pursue. Why not try to chase your dreams and do something big? You know, I just couldn't settle for the average normal life. When other people would go to work or they'd talk about the job they'd have, and it was the same mundane thing every day. There's never a new challenge, never a new obstacle to overcome, never a new battle. I just didn't see how it was worth getting up for every day. So I think honestly that pushed me as I started to get out of high school. Instead of partying my senior summer, I met a guy who'd been in the film business for 25 plus years at the time, who became my mentor and still is a great friend. I made him a deal that summer. I said, look, I'm going to go wait tables, save money for college at night, but from 8 to 5 I'll work for you for free. All you have to do is answer my questions. And so we had a great time, and I got references and extra freelance gigs after recommendations from doing work with him for a long time. So by the time I got to MTSU and started doing news package seminars for seniors when I was a freshman, it turned around that after my freshman year studying video, I realized you really didn't have to have a degree. It's about the passion you had. If you had straight A's but you didn't have the real, it didn't matter. So I actually took some time back, and I went back home and studied history for a while, mainly because I love to write, and I enjoyed the fact of incorporating historical